7 weather with meteorologist Vivian Gonzalez.
Good morning, South Florida. And on this Friday, temperatures are in the upper 70s to about 80 degrees. We have 80 in Pompano Beach, 78 in Hialeah and Miami, 74 in Kendall, 79 in Homestead. And as we move into the Keys, temperature readings here in the upper 70s, 77 for both Marathon and Key West. On the radar on the Florida Keys, that's where we've actually been seeing a few showers and a gusty downpour right now impacting Key Largo and Tavernier. Mainland South Florida mostly dry at this time, and we are expecting it to be a fairly quiet weather day, but with the winds on the increase. Right now sustained up to 14 miles per hour in Fort Lauderdale, 7 miles per hour in Miami. There's a wind gust up to 22 in Marathon, and gusts today will be over 35 miles per hour. So you can have an idea that it will get gusty at times. And the reason for that is due to a front stalling nearby and high pressure building in on the back end. So that's just going to create a large pressure difference and that breeze picking up along the coast. Now to the south, we're monitoring Melissa in the Caribbean. So here's a look at what we can expect into the upcoming weekend. Gusts between 35 to 40 miles per hour on our Saturday. A couple showers on the breeze possible, but the chance for rain at a minimum. Pretty typical for this time of year, even on Sunday. But nothing virtually changes on Sunday. We're also going to be keeping tabs on our next front, and models continue to insist that this one will actually be stronger, developing around the heart of the country heading into Sunday and eventually pushing into the eastern half. Now, here's the latest on Melissa. It is trying to get its act together here on satellite imagery. However, it's not being reflected on the initial forecast advisory at 5 a.m. from the National Hurricane Center. And right now, there's really nothing to have it moving. It is stationary. Eventually, high pressure starts to build in a little bit to allow it to move to the west. But into the upcoming weekend, it will rapidly intensify into a major storm, eventually lifting northward. Advisories in effect for portions of Haiti and Jamaica, where catastrophic, life-threatening flash flooding expected this weekend. Small craft advisory in effect. High rip current risk at area beaches. Biscayne Bay rough, very rough in the Keys. So you get the idea, not a good time to be out on the waters. And the next tide cycle will be high tide. That will be at 10:33 in Fort Lauderdale. Look for highs in the mid to upper 80s, passing clouds, maybe a shower in a few spots. Strong winds tonight with your extended outlook calling for that next front to move in by the middle part of next week. And there's a sign that we could be cooling down to finish off the week. And that's your 7 on 7. We will be right back.
7 weather with meteorologist Erika Delgado.
All right, South Florida, breezy to windy conditions now with stronger gusts across the area. Winds are northeast between 10 to 20 miles per hour, already sustained up to 22 in Bimini, and those gusts have been reaching as high as 28 miles per hour in Fort Lauderdale, 25 in Miami, 20 to 25 across the Florida Keys, where we've seen the bulk of the moisture so far this morning along that front that came through. If you zoom into Broward County, you'll notice one isolated shower pushing through the area, maybe another one passing through Lauderdale Lakes, but that shower quickly moving through Lauderdale by the sea, now beginning to approach the I-95 area, Oakland Park. These are quickly moving towards the southwest because that breeze is so strong out of the northeast. We're not expecting a whole lot as far as rainfall is concerned, but we could see a quick moving passing shower. Look at this moisture here across the Florida Straits extending into western Cuba. That's associated with that front that is forecast to stall heading into the weekend. In the meantime, though, we now have a front to the south of us and high pressure to the north. South Florida is lodged in between both weather features, and that's why winds have increased so much. Those gusty conditions will stick around through all of the day while we monitor Melissa's whereabouts in the Caribbean, still a tropical storm. Heading into the weekend, windy conditions continue. Those gusts could be reaching anywhere between 35 to 40 miles per hour. With a front so close by and that strong wind coming off the water, the occasional shower will push through both Saturday and unfortunately still on Sunday, with high pressure still keeping things on the gusty side for us here, and the occasional shower across South Florida. Now, your boating forecast not looking the greatest. We have a small craft advisory in place for really all South Florida waters. We now have newly issued high surf advisory for coastal Broward and Miami-Dade, as seas could occasionally reach as high as 10 feet. And we have a high risk of rip currents across area beaches, and it's all because winds will be strong out of the northeast, gusting up to 30 knots. Biscayne Bay even will remain rough heading into the Florida Keys. Coastal waters very rough, with seas building as high as 6 to 11 feet, which is why that small craft advisory is in place, and the possibility of saltwater flooding during times of high tide, especially across the upper Keys. We'll see that high tide in the 12 o'clock hour for the island chain. Otherwise, we do have a high tide coming up in just a few minutes here in Miami at 11:02. Fort Lauderdale, you're undergoing yours right now. Passing clouds, showers in spots, high temperatures in the mid-80s. The breeze is going to leave our temperatures from warming any more than that. This is typical this time of year. We could see those gusts between 35 to 40 miles per hour, with a quick shower still possible tonight. If you have any Friday evening plans, a reminder that the wind will remain strong. And then again, we'll keep those winds strong for the weekend, but we'll add a few more showers to the mix. The possibility of maybe a storm on Monday. A strong front set to push through areas Wednesday, Thursday, which could bring some nice conditions just in time for Halloween. That's your 7 on 7.